Welcome back, L127 here. So, in the last part, I have explored the Balboa Island, which is this one. It's a relatively large island with bears and bees. We passed through the islands, got some keynotes, and then get to know some information about Bruno, which we are quite likely going to be able to know about him in later part of the story. And after which, I have been walking on my raft for about 4 hours, and this 4 hours you can watch the 4 hours of raft walk as a form of intermission videos that I have also uploaded on YouTube. So what I did is that I set up for the storage system, set up some recyclers. I also started cooking and then started to do some fishing, so I got some of the fish. And then I started walking on the floors, and then I decided to put back my receiver setup because I feel like I should continue on the progress before this gets even more boring, and then gets to the make this way too boring. And it's just you just looking at me and looking at me doing all the ref work without actually progressing in the story, that kind of thing. So we are going to progress through the story. So here is the receiver setup. I already tested the it works. So let's set up for the next code is 7A387. Alright, so it's about there. So we're going to steer to that direction. To save power, always make sure that I don't have power, so the only way to make this work is to insert this biofuel. I also made the biofuel tank because that makes up for its purpose. Definitely worth getting this biofuel set up for later when I get more biofuel bottles and then or biofuel jars, and then I can start to get more resources. It also travels very fast. So with this traveling very fast, then we can start to work on getting to the next destination. Anyway, so I did some cooking, so let's cover some of the basics of cooking. So what you are supposed to do is that you get this recipes from basically the loot boxes that you can find in some abandoned rafts, or like from islands. Then you can also get these recipes. What you're supposed to do is to actually read these recipes. You can't cook without the recipe, it works, but it's just going to be easier to make sure that you have the right materials to actually set for the recipes. It's kind of dark now, so I need to make a lamp for this and then make this easier to read. I'll place it here for now. Or actually, I'm gonna put it here. It doesn't make it easier to read though. So what is it? What is the simple fish stew here? I will go over this with this. What it means is that the first row of the first row is basically that you can pick a combination of raw potatoes and raw beets, and in the second row is two of a combination of raw herring and pomfret. So what can be a fairly example is that I have two of these. What I can do with these is that I can potentially say that I put a single pomfret here and a single herring here, and then two potatoes here, and then do something like this. It's basically how you're actually going to be able to follow this recipe. It's like you make sure you satisfy each row of what you are supposed to do, and then each row is basically a combination of ingredients. It can be arbitrary. It can be ranged from having 0 to 2 of the left one, and then compensate by the other one if you have a less than 2 of the left one. It's basically a combination of that. And there is also the other recipe here is a steak with jam. Oh, and I just messed that up. I did get back my. It didn't delete the recipe I wanted. Anyway, so this is a steak with jam, and then this is made with raw beets, raw potato or raw beets, and then 1 meat, and then 2 red berries, which I can demonstrate. I just lost the fish, but minimal loss there. And so I was able to get my recipe back. So you can do something like this, and then put some red berries and then raw beets, and then you have to get the planks to start cooking. So you will be picking up the planks. So you start cooking at this part, and if you actually have followed the recipe, then it should last a while. If it is not, and then it will quickly turn into leftovers, which is you might have to see me actually getting leftovers from some of the chests during the story islands. Those will happen on cooking pots, and the other cooking table is the juicer. I haven't made this, but it also comes with a leftover form. So if it lasts long enough, it means that you're doing right. Then you should be able to wait for the actual food result of that. How far I am, I'm going to be using this 8 to 12 hours. I'm going to change the direction a bit further for now, though, because of the island in the front. Anyways, I also got some things while I was in the intermission. I got some more resources, yes, that's for sure. But I also got some relatively unique stuff. I caught some more of these llamas that you've already seen me in the water, I suppose. And I got some of these llamas, and some of them are rare forms that have a special stripes and a red color. And I also got this this bird like a creature. This is a clocker, I think, and then it is also a rare form because a normal one will have been a bluish color instead of that special eagle-like color. Anyway, so we can research the egg, and then we can also get unlock the healing self. Currently, we can't do much with these because I can't really mass produce these eggs. Anyways, to take out your food, because we just get those finished, to be able to pick up the food, then you really need to going to use a clay bowl, which is made from clay, and then you can pick up a simple fish stew if you actually follow the recipe. Depends on what kind of recipe you make. And then here is a steak with jam. As you already know in one of the earlier parts, that consuming these dishes will give you the special yellow bar, which is the bonus hunger. It also depends on what kind of food you use. Because some really give out a huge amount of bonus hunger. Anyways, while that is going, I feel like I should give my animals a little bit more personal space instead of crumbling them there, and then I don't feed them grass because I don't even have the grass. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to extend my house while I'm on the way of this next store location. But first, let me check in case it gets despawned again, and then I have to re-follow the coordinates. So I have reset the receiver setup. Basically, build this receiver setup. It's still temporary, and I plan to move them further upwards, but I don't have higher floors now. For now, what I can do is to extend floor even further. I have plans for these can't really get out. Well, the only way for me to get out technically is going to be using a raised floor there. Anyways, to make sure I don't fall into those holes, I'm going to set the floor now. Let me pick up more planks, and then I can I can continue working on this project. And what spawn? Let me check the receiver again. It can't be that close. It's 1000. I don't think it has spawned yet, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set off so here I plan to set up for the animal section. It might not be the greatest to actually set those above the engine floor, but it works, so I'm going to do it. And then I think the engine just died out for fuel. So I'm going to refuel them. Yeah, that can be a problem because I haven't set up for biofuels yet, or I like set up for honey yet. So currently the only available approach for me is going to be using planes, which I need planes to do further projects. That will be bad because I need planes to actually set up all the. The animal farming. About here. Animals. I need to make the animals happy to be able to get those to produce stuff. And then there is wool, though I don't feel like I strictly need to worry about wool because I already made the map, which I also believe that I made this during this the intermission. So this it gives you the extended inventory space by 10 10 stacks of stuff. So I can have 10 tiles of more inventory space. And then to make a backpack, you need quite a bit of wool, 6 of those. There is a better version of a backpack, but it's quite endgame, so we're not going to talk about that for now. How far we still away from this? About 600. I think it's going to spawn soon, so there should be a lag every time it generates in the story island. At least I think that's going to happen. Though it isn't going to be severe compared to Balboa Island. And this one still kind of follows the current a bit. It's not like completely against the currents. About 400. It should about to spawn then. About 400. So it should about to spawn. Oh, there's the lag. Okay, it's spawned. Alright. Still vague, still quite vague, so I'm going to get it closer. But I actually give a look on this next door location. So a relatively interesting place, but I'm not really a fan of this one. I should refuel if possible because those drain a lot of fuel. sure I bring my shovel for this. I may need to make a new shovel. I also going to need a bow, but I feel like this bow is going to be not enough. So I'm going to make a new one. I'm running out of bows, that's also not good. Let me make a new bow. I kinda need to change the direction to make the best capture of this. I'm supposed to cross. It's kind of a bit messy for what is going on for now. I need to get the steering wheel to... Yeah, that is very annoying. Fortunately though, after the story island, I will get one of the very useful thing to solve this problem. Though to fully utilize that, I will need to go even further in this full story. I need to take some sleep because it's relatively nighttime, and then I don't like to actually explore this place at night. It's kind of dark at nighttime anyway, so... We're about there, for sure. Oh, don't put this basket on. Alright. Let me replenish my water. And then I will also recommend actually bringing out diving gear for this some part of this map. So I am also going to make a diving gear. There's an easy ratio to follow up on this. It's going to be this much to make both the oxygen bottle and the flippers. So the flippers is going to be the one that uses the seaweed, and then you're also going to make a bottle which is going to be made this way, and then so you're going to need a sum of 20 seals, 20 plastic and 8 rope. Anyway, so the rain just stopped. I would like to take a screenshot before heading out for this. Alright. So I would like to get to use the bow. So this is a relatively nice place. So there are a few things that we need to get from this whole thing. One is this battery charger parts. We need 3 of those. And then there's going to be another more of a story-oriented one. It's going to require 3 of the other part, the other type of part. So you can find those. Here you can find some of these. You can potentially find these item bundles that can give you items. They can potentially give you relatively useful stuff though. So I definitely after those. And it's the place that introduces these kind of bundles. And this is a food bundle, which I just can potentially give you the why I already mentioned the leftovers. So here is one of these things to do is to actually settle for this to be able to get the. So here is a note.
Scientific Journal. Classified. Ma says I should write down what I think to make it stick, so I write. Caravan Town is a rock sticking out from the water. It has good land to raise pigs to eat. We can fish, grow vegetables. Only downside are the hyenas, but they are usually friendly. We came here on a boat with half the rest of Jakarta. They let us stay because Ma is smart and Pa is good at welding. They say I'm just another mouth to feed. But I'll show them. See, the problem is, the water is rising, right? What if we just take away the water?
So immediately that we get to know one new key character from this note. And his name is Ditto. So here I'm going to be basically scavenging for each one of these and to see if there are any collectible items, and then you will be able to see that my inventory gets filled up real fast as I go through these. Those give you quite a bit of stuff, and since they also is also very hard to actually memorize if you actually have explored them or not. And I forgot to bring a sweep net. And so the first thing that I have to go is to actually get this first piece of the puzzle solved. Yeah, so we're going to be picking up the items around this fan areas as there are a lot of those. I think I have got most of these. And you can already get some biofuel here, which is also nice. That we need biofuel to fuel our engines, which is very nice. So the next part is going to be around here, I suppose. So let's go here and get more of those items picked up. And here's an item. You can get metal arrows, stone arrows, and even tools from those 2 bundles. Mostly scrap, but you can get arrows. So. And you already saw. Yeah, you already heard that. So yes, we are fighting that again. So this fighting that again is actually slightly easier to do because it does less damage, it has less health, it is slightly weaker feeling. And it's twice. So it's it's a little bit aggressive, but it's actually a lot easier than the normal one that we fight in large islands. So I would like to take this down, before moving on because it's kind of a bit tricky to deal with this. Anyway, so there's another
Total
note.
scientific journal. Top secret. Sanjay says the water pump idea doesn't work because there isn't enough space in the well for all the water. Also, the neighbors complain about getting salt in their cups. They complain because they have no patience for science. I asked Pa why we can't fly to another planet without all this water. Pa just laughed. But Sanjay showed me some pictures that gave me a great idea though. Good man, Sanjay.
I can't find it. It's about to attack. Anyway, so let me try to take down this enemy. So to take down this enemy, I would like to try to fly as hard as possible for sure. This high will be nice, so let's get this high. And here's another battery charger. So let's go up here and then try to fight this enemy. It's actually very aggressive towards actually attacking. So it's not going to be like the common variant that we fight in the. It's not going to be like the common variant that we fight that is going to immediately set for grabbing the rocks to attack instead of like actually hovering for a while before it decides to do the attack. It also does less damage, but I cannot get a groove. Probably due to more adapted towards the actual common variant. Because you don't get to fight this enemy outside this actual story. But just basically treat it as the common variant. Then you should have this in your bag. So it's I think it's all about to get killed. So I feel I'm going to get this a little bit closer before I actually. So I can actually harvest this. So this is a special variant. It's also a lot weaker, so you get way less than what you will potentially get from the regular one. So this is a white screecher. It's a subspecies, but it's actually a lot weaker. It's not like special, so it's stronger. Anyway, so what we are supposed to do is that we need to line up the pipelines and then to actually set up for actually set up these pipelines and then to set up these pipelines to be able to get these get the water into the place that you sold the thing. But it's kind of hard to get to the place with the pump. I think that does it. So let's no, that doesn't. Make it a bit lower. Already exploded, so why try to get here? That's not nice. Okay, I think now it does it. Anyways, now we can pick up this. It's a zipline part, so you're also going to need 3 of those. But It's almost nighttime, so I feel like I should just take a break and then rearrange my stuff because oh my god, my inventory is already getting fairly messy from this collection. To make sure that it doesn't make up for any difficulties when you need to go for this, I definitely going to be using some of these meals for sure. A new weapon, a new spear for sure. I would like to use a new spear. Where's the feather? Oh, it's here. Oh, it's time to sleep. I don't want to get too much of the nighttime going. So I also got this simple fishing bait. I will talk about more of this simple fishing bait, or like any kind of fishing bait, because you actually don't need bait for normal fishing, but you will need bait for a relatively special kind of fishing, which is associated with the. I forgot to do that, so let me get this for sure that I don't miss out this time. Because it's very annoying to actually go back and forth. Let me find my net. Where's my net? Okay, here's my net. And to just make sure that I'm going to make a shuffle. I'm going to make a shuffle. Alright. So, the bees. So there are a few places with bees. And this is one of those. So let me try to tackle this bees before going further because those bees can hurt me when I'm trying to get away with these places. Anything down below? I don't think so. It seems that some part of this is washed by the currents or the waves. Anyways, time for more harvesting. Going to be picking up items. And more food and more supplies. A very nice place to go to. Unless you're now really good with it. Anything above it. But it seems to be the case. Anyways, more looking into places. And here's a crate, and my inventory is full. Oh dear. What it gave me? Metal spear. Yeah, the cat. Another metal spear. I mean, it is watermelon. Okay, doesn't seem to be anything else for this place. I don't think I can get up now, so just leave that. Else, I need to go back and empty my inventory because my inventory is very full. So full that my inventory just it demands actual cleanup. I'm going to immediately finish off this cookie. And then I got a red melon. Yes, I believe I have Beja's chest. Hold on, put that there. Inventory relatively full, not the greatest of all times. And so we got a red melon, it seems. But let's just forget about red melon. Continue exploring the places. So already explored this section. But it is actually a relatively secret location down here that you can give yourself another crate. And then here's some dirt patches I'm going to dig. Now some animal locations. So if I would like to, if I want to catch those animals, then I could do it. So I feel like I'm going to be after actually gaining the looting this chest, looting these areas first. And here's another battery charger box, and that's also a battery charger box actually. But to assemble those battery chargers,
Pa says we have to go. Ma is getting sicker, and I heard that strange man Olaf shouting orders. I saw them rounding up all the hyenas in cages. Sanjay is helping separate the rafts from the rocks. I asked Dr. Henrik about Ma. He looked sick too. Told me to avoid the pigs. And Olaf. Sanjay says he's scared. Smart man, Sanjay.
anyways, to assemble those battery charger boxes, we actually need to do a little bit more things towards the story, so we can actually find a place to actually assemble those charger pods. Like how we actually assembled the car jack, or like the bomb in the previous location. I'm trying to jump towards this place, but it seems that I have difficulties with this, so I may have to take the slightly bit different portion. Okay, here we go. Just picking up things, nothing to worry about. Just be picking stuff at this kind of moment. And I'm trying to tell if I have actually explored these vans. If I did, then yes. I think that's it for this section. I hope. I don't even miss out on anything. To be fair. My inventory is already relatively full, so let me fill some spaces. Let me take a drink. Yeah, it's very easy to get this to full. And then here you can also get the tools, get some tools, which makes even more inventory consumption, inventory space consumption. So it is really hard to actually go through collection of resources without the backpack. So there is a house at top of there. It's very hard to actually go through this house. So the first thing is that we need to get to this upper plan and get to this house first, and then there is some booze which can be looted. And then to actually, how I did this is actually doing a shape form of a hook jump. So you are going to be jumping from here, and then you jump to here, and then you get to this van. It only contains some stuff though. I don't think it's really worth it unless you're coming for the silver solution to be good. Anyways, time for more looting. And now the silver solution. Here's another note.
Sailing as one, the RAFT towns of Indonesia. The flooding of Jakarta has led to escaping locals creating interconnected rafts as they make their way to land. We just make do, said Putri Reyes, one of the earlier adopters of these RAFT towns, when inquired by one of our reporters about their living conditions. Drifting largely on sea currents, they appear to be growing at a steady rate, raising considerable concerns with coastal authorities. A maritime hazard in the making, the foreign minister stated this morning in a public address. Despite these concerns, many believe raft towns could very well be a viable alternative. Recent rumors surrounding the construction of sanctuary towers in the southern hemisphere has only increased tensions. We sought a comment from the local government.
I just accidentally consumed a vegetable soup, which I totally did not plan to actually do. But here we come that we actually consumed a vegetable soup, which is not what I meant to do. And it's also nighttime, so I better get out. There's another thing here. Anyways, trying to continue working on going through these places. So let's talk about the second section before actually heading further up there. So the second section is a little bit more. I can use these, but I don't think I actually gonna be able to pick anything good. Okay, I was able to get into this vent. It has become increasingly difficult to actually get through these, to get into these vents. So. And there is a next section, and here is another note.
Monster investigation. There's a stranger in town called Olaf. Pa keeps going through his things. No kids allowed. But at night, I got Sanjay to help me sneak onto the stranger's ship. Thought maybe he had some medicine for Ma, but Olaf's boat was just filled with cages. In the cages were big rats and a very large hyena. They were so angry. Sanjay found notes talking about feeding and training them into his personal army. Sanjay thinks Olaf might be a bad guy. I think I agree.
It's really, really hard to actually pass through these places. Those are very annoying to actually traverse through. I don't know. At least I get to those places and to be able to actually navigate through these places. But man, this is difficult, and I am thirsty. This place has completely been torn, basically. Not much loot here. So. Sometimes it has to go this extreme, unfortunately. So, yeah. And here we go again. Another bee swarm that I have to get away with. Oh, I hate bees. In the way that how you actually won't be able to come up those. It's very painful to do. I don't like how you actually get to the bees and you can chop these trees. Regarding these trees are actually actually quite efficient in X choppers, but only a very few minimum moment. It's actually more planks per chop compared to coconut trees or like palm trees. In this, it is almost comparable to. It is almost better than the than the dwarf or pine trees in the previous location. And here's a
Detector's
note.
Experiment Journal, attempt 733. Pa helped me weld the rocket together, and Sanjay borrowed some fireworks to get it started. Pa had to apologize to everyone for the explosion. I don't get it. It was just a test, not an overreaction. They would have taken my tools if Sanjay hadn't helped me put out the fire. Good helper, Sanjay.
You see there's a crate down there, yes. And what are we exactly going to do is actually get to this crate to gain resources. And here's a dirt patch that you have to fall from above to get to. Is there anything? No, there's just there's something on top, but I would like to get to this section a little bit later. But I will go through this area. So I can get back to my rifle now, because I feel like I'm going to empty my inventory. And then the next part is going to be a deep dive session. So we're going to go deep into the water. So I am also asked to. I also required explosive powder. Fortunately, there's quite many poison particles to deal with in this place. You can actually find quite a bit of those poison particles here, which can help in this. Which I'm going to actually try to get those poison particles, because I'm actually going to need the poison particles explosive goods to smelt those into powder, so I can actually progress, because I'm asked to poison explosive powder will continue the progress. So here is where I'm going to get to. So here is supposed to be what to pump out the air to actually get the air beneath. So there are some air pockets down below, so you can actually do some
My name's Sanjay.
deep diving.
I think I'm in trouble. Dato put together a diving suit using a bike and an old diving helmet. Dato put weights in it to go down, but he put in too much. Now if I leave, then no one will pump air to Dato using the bike. If I'm thrown in jail, this is proof I'm innocent. Dato Scientific Journal, Underwater Caches. Sanjay ran off crying as soon as they dragged me out. Very unprofessional. There's lots of debris underwater. I couldn't get anything out though. Sad. Pa forbade me from doing any more experiments.
So there are quite a bit of
She's angry because Ma got sick. Dr. Henry said she'll be okay. So it's okay.
So there is a bit of scrap, and I could potentially get this scrap, but I need to breathe because I almost out of breath. So here is one of the breathing pockets or air pockets that you can refresh your breath, because there's actually quite a bit of deep diving session going. And I can't be sure, but I think the poison powders here respawn, so it can be a little bit tricky to deal with. If those respawn, as you already know, poison powders do a lot of damage, so I wouldn't like those to respawn and then get me, because I once got and then that happens. I'm most likely going to be poisoned to death. Or raped to die, but incapacitated. Thankfully, I have a. So let me refresh my breath. First, let me pull out this. Oh. It appears that is a bug. I'm not going to exploit this bug for sure, because that's bug. Imagine doing this at night, then you cannot see anything. Yeah. That would have been way worse to do this at night. So before proceeding further, I need to make sure I get the collectibles. And I am about to drown. I don't have water. So I need to go up, and yeah, I think they actually respawn. Yeah, this is ridiculous. If they respawn, yeah, you have an infinite source of explosive goo here. Or they actually respawn for a limited amount of time. Can't be sure. So I need to go back and sleep, because it's extremely difficult to actually go through that at nighttime without ability to see, and it gets really hard to actually go through this part. I also load in water, so I'm gonna be fast. to be reaching the next breathing market. Oh, what? There is nothing. Oh well, I better go back because yeah, that would be very bad. Let me go back, please. Kind of drone like this. Yeah, I should probably use my wheels because I have to hit this 4 times and then that makes up the time loss. That gets that gets to the time loss. That's not good. Oh my god. There's so many poison bottles. I only got paid. I only got 6 of those. I'm about to be thirsty. So there is a crate here. I can pick up this crate. And there's the bottom, but I feel like I should go up first and refill my source because I don't have anything to actually refill my source. So let me rush upwards, try my best to go up. Oh my god, there are poison powders everywhere. Oh dear. Let me go. Let me go up. Oh, I wasn't able to get out of this crazy blizzard. But I'm thirsty, I don't have anything. So the only way for this to help me is if there's anything that can give me food. Still no available water resource. There's a food bundle. I may be able to utilize that, but I'm not sure. Okay, there's a watermelon. Okay, let's do that. Alright, I was able to move. Oh, great. Oh, right. So before going further into this place, I need to really replenish my water. I got quite a number of goo. I'm going to smell some of those, so I can actually use those for the explosive powder. Yeah, already more than 20. Yeah, that's quite a number for sure. 120. Yeah, that's definitely quite a number. Yeah. So I was able to get some water. I will wait until the powder is ready. Then we can move on. Alright, so I got some powder. Only need one, so I'm gonna I'm gonna have one in my inventory, and that's it. So we need to go back there. But first, let me actually go down the section because I definitely have to do this during the day. I don't want to like wait for I don't want to like do this at night and then I will have to wait until I can sleep it for another daytime. So let me get this finished first. So I will try to rush this time because I don't get much time left. I don't want to like consume too much time. Just try to kill some, try to get these poison powders. I already have quite a number of poison powders down. Taking care of these poison powders has taken me too much time. I'm going to ignore some of those. Two here. Yeah, this could be a little bit tricky to engage. This is our goal here. This is our goal. So we can get an infirmary key, the zipline part, and the metal detector. The blueprints for metal detector, strictly, and it's just very scary. Yes. Consider that they also respawn, make this even more intense. First, let me get my briefing. And I need to try to be able to safely get out of here. And here's a safe. Relatively special price. And we got a new type of resource. It's the titanium ore. So yeah, it's a super rare type of ore that you can only find in so many places. So definitely worth getting those, and definitely need to make sure that you don't lose those, if possible. And I'm about to drone. Alright, I think it's time to go for the final bet on this. Get out of this place. Going to go straight up because I don't want to engage with those poison puppies. And it's already very nighttime. It's just so nighttime that I can't see anything. Oh, it has to be nighttime, but yeah, it was very close to nighttime. So, might as well just equip these since they're almost worn out. Alright, so we are done with that with the deep sea section. So, time to do the thing with the explosive powder. So, you did see a note that has been given with the fireworks and explosive things to actually make a rocket. And here is where it is. So this is where you're going to be using the explosive powder. And then you see that place that I just got to. I actually don't have much practical things. Then this is the explosive powder. And then it's going to blow up, and then something's going to be there. So what we got? So you'll see there is something slowly falling down there. So what we're going to do is to pick up what's broken down. And then you get the this thing. It's a major tom, and you also get a firework beacons and another zipline path. And that's a mix of all three zipline paths. And then this is the major tom. You can only get this once. This is a relatively special decor to the fact that you can only have one of those. If you lose it, and then it's basically long gone. So definitely has to keep this in mind, because if I lose it, then it's not going to be a very nice ending with this one. It's already not so nice because I already lost some of the non-renewable blueprints. And it's here, and then there's another night.
Speech to the rafters, the 17th of May. 5th draft. Why do you think I, Olof Wilkström, left that corrupt city? Because they refused to let regular working-class folk on board. I was appalled. Why should the elite get to escape the apocalypse? They should be forced to share their luxury. Who should force them? That's right! The greatest rafters in this new southern sea! You! Take Tangaroa! Take back your future!
Well, that is going to be the next place we're actually going to access. And then we can now assemble the zipline. Then we get the zipline too, and we also get the blueprints for zipline. And so let's refill this blueprint. So the metal detector, so is actually quite useful. So you will be able to detect the metals from in islands, and then you can potentially find those rare titanium ore, because you cannot really get this titanium ore elsewhere outside from like actually doing metal detecting. But later on, you can also purchase those titanium ore in those music playing houses, and then in some of the story locations, you were able to actually find a raw piece of titanium. And here's the firework. So this is a mostly a vanity, but it actually works on seagulls. And then you will be able to give yourself a firework show when you're done with the game. Maybe it needs explosive powder, so keep that in mind. And here's the zipline too. It's basically the equipment that you can ride ziplines. And here's the zipline. You can use the you can place the ziplines on your raft, and then make yourself a zipline base. Else we need to go back and so we can place a I decided to place the zipline. The titanium there. Got so many poison powder and explosive glue. I should be able to catch enough animals for my raft. Anyways, time to head towards the next location. Well, not really the next location, but the next part of this place, which requires some traversing with the ziplines. So we need to get up to the tower. We ascend the zipline. It's gonna be a while. But now we need to get to the infirmary, which is, I think it's there. So first I need to climb up, and then we need to go to the infirmary. Here introduces a new type of enemy, a very aggressive one as well. So, alright. So the very first thing is you see those things. So there has been mentions about the let me see. There has been some talks about that Deto's mother is getting sick, and then this may have been what is happening. So this, I was just going to call them the enemies. So this is the mudhog, and they are extremely aggressive and actually a lot more difficult to deal with. they are similar to the warthogs, but they are extremely aggressive towards you. So they not just charge straight, they also change direction while charging, so this actually makes it a lot more difficult to engage with. Highly suggest using a bow instead using a melee weapon like this, because this is a really difficult enemy to deal with. And that kind of bug, not my problem. That's not my problem. Yeah, it's really difficult to deal with this. Anyways, those are taken down. They drop leather. They just drop leather because, well, you can't really take that meat, right? No, I need to try to catch this bee. Anyways, you have solved that, so you can potentially get these healing cells on its own as a item form. And here is where you're actually going to be using the infirmary key. But you can actually get the mayor chest key here. So the infirmary key is actually just going to be unlocking the nodes.
Stuck in the shack, sick as a dog. I don't think I can treat anyone in my condition, and these people know it. I asked them to leave me here. It's the pigs. For weeks they've acted erratic. I have been blind to it. I didn't even notice the butchers getting sick. It all started when Olaf Wilstrom arrived, and I do not see it as a coincidence.
You heard that, and you probably already know what is going. Anyway, so I am good with the infirmary section now. That we can get some of the seedling soaps and liquid building soaps. This allows you to actually heal, which you're going to be using eggs and clay to make. And to make a good one, you're going to be using the honeycomb. Shouldn't be too hard if you have a decent amount of bees caught. So here is the mayor section, the mayor's room. And here's where you can make your battery charger. And here's a crate, there's a briefcase you can take. That will have a chance of giving you titanium. And here's the mayor's head and the mayor head. And then here's where you're going to be using the mayor's chest key. And here is where you get the engine control. So yeah, this is when I can finally have a remote control for the remote control of the engines. And then this is the battery charger. It uses biofuel, so it also accepts the fuel pipe. And so that it's the battery charger. And here's the note. And that indicates the next location that we have to go to, which is already mentioned. I believe that's all the notes. So we're technically done, but we're still not really done. I can just jump up down here. So here's some more chests I can pick up, or bundles I can pick up. Definitely picking those bundles because I want to get the bundles. And here's some scrub and dirt. I can dig on this dirt. And now it appears that there's a second useful for the earth. So you can zipline through these areas, and you're going to be using more ziplines later. Here's a one crate I can get. It is this crate. So I'm not sure if you can just do this without ziplining actually, or you can just do it without it. But it's technically saying that you are supposed to use a zipline to do this. You can actually work on this support for the tower. Not so practical, but it is an available option. Anyway, so that's basically this story island complete. Technically, there's one thing we can still do before we leave off of this place, and it is the metal detector. So to get the metal detector, that we have unlocked quite a bit of tech. So we're going to research table, and these three things will require titanium. Anyways, so let me do some inventory arrangement first. We're going to need an empty battery for that. So first, let me clear out my inventory because it's a little bit messy. Let me take this red melon. So we got quite a bit of bolts and hinges, a lot of stuff to be sure. And so I'm going to make another storage chest because I'm running out of space. And also we need a dead battery for that. So let's get our dead battery. And then we can make our metal detector. So the metal detector will require a battery, so if you can, just use that one. Anyway, so this is the metal detector, so you will be able to you use it and then you scan for the places to actually find if there are any strengthening of the signal. It means that you're closer to the potential treasure spots. For example, that this is a location that render as there is a treasure, there's a potential treasure inside, and then you dig using the shovel. Only the last hit drains the durability, and then that's how you're going to be able to do metal detecting. If the metal detector doesn't detect anything, it doesn't drain durability. So if there is no light, there is no durability loss. That's how simple it is. So if you're having kind of for any small or medium or large tropical islands, you can just basically try to scan for those places if possible. So yes, you say why there's no titanium, then how do I prove this is effective? Well, it's luck based, it's a probability based basically. So to actually get titanium, you need to actually mine out the briefcase or a safe, then you will have you will be able to get titanium. But here it appears that we don't have that, so I wouldn't be keeping for that. And then we can leave this place basically. Alright, so we are mostly good with this place. And let me do some inventory arrangement and then we can go. So we didn't get much of the planks due to the fact that we are not really doing we're doing the gathering. But yeah, in the next part, I feel like I'm just going to start working on the moon. some of the more interesting parts of some of the more interesting things. I need to back. Need to stop that steering wheel right now. Okay, I think I can turn off the engine. Anyways, I'm going to be wandering off the seas and then get more resources and then continue working on the raft and then I'm probably going to start the next part, which we are going to go to the next door location, Tangaroa, here. When we got the code, then we can proceed and move on. Before ending that though, I feel like I should I should put some work on the animal section before I try to get more animals. So I'm going to finish off the flooring if possible. Then if you come into any island, then you can just use the shovel and the metal detector and shovel to actually get the to actually do some potential titanium to get that potential titanium. You can also get some relatively unique stuff from quantum treasure. So I will say definitely worth taking a look of those if you want to get some of the rare achievements or relatively secret achievements. You definitely want to look into doing this treasure hunting using the metal detectors and of course a shovel. Caravan Town is done, and we're leaving it now. definitely not like the best place to explore. There's a lot going on, but I did get quite a decent amount of explosive goo. I could catch more animals if I want to, because yes, I definitely want to catch some animals if possible. And since they seemingly respawn, so you can stay there even longer and then just get a decent amount of explosive goo, I guess. I need to purify some water. Definitely need to make some changes to my life. I plan to set up for more storage for these parts. Well, actually, I'm going to do some work on the biofuel section already. We'll put the beehive in Tommy and then the biofuel here. Because honey is mainly used for biofuel. You can eat honey, you can actually eat honey, but it's not really if I would have assumed, because it doesn't really heal too much, and it actually uses glass to make you the honey. It might not be the best then. So I haven't talked about fishing yet. So here is a fishing rod. So I'm going to explain how fishing works. So you normally think that you will have to actually do fish in the water, and or like actually using the base. But here the base is used for the special fishing, which I may cover in the next part. If I plan to do other things instead of actually doing continue on the story. But you can actually fish anywhere, like here. I can even do fishing on an island, and then you just wait and then catch. You just basically click and then you do the catching, basically. You can even fish in like in places you wouldn't think you would be able to actually fish, like in elevator, which we may be able to see one of those in the next story island. I think that covers enough story island, and I just got this rare decoration item. It's a candle bottle. It doesn't give out light, but not like the lantern, so it's just decor. With this long time grinding session, and what is that? That's not a normal island. What is that, you say? Well, I guess I will have to cover this a bit before I actually let off. So this is a relatively unique type of island. This is our receiver, but this is not a normal, very large island with tropical trees that we have seen before. This is a desert biome, so it's basically why you have the biome based on what Caravan Town based on. So this is a desert biome. So you're going to be expecting those very annoying mudhogs here and bees, and as well metal detector location. You can actually detect some metals out here, so that should be as well. Let me bring my note because I'm most likely I will have expected to actually encounter some of these as well. Anyways, so this is a desert biome, and then I will just go through a quick coverage on this maybe, and then I'm going to throw away further and to get the stuff, because we have done a lot in this part. So I feel like I'm going to go for a brief cover on this island, on this unique island, and then level. So yeah, you have the music playing house. I should cover the music playing house, maybe, and how you're actually going to get that. Get the fishing baits. So to get the fishing baits, you will have to get some trash cubes, which you can get the trash cubes from the recyclers. So and then you can get this simple fishing bait with the trash cubes. You can buy up to 5 per trading post here. So the trading post is the Rose House price music, and then you can buy other things as well. Then you are supposed to catch the fish and then sell those fish to actually get the trade coins and reputation to actually up your tier, so you can get more more other fun stuff as you raise your level or your tier of the trading books. So we're gonna be picking out some honeycombs along with the I would like to get some honeycombs for sure. And then some collectibles. And there's a station up there, and there's already the enemy up there as well. That's not nice. Alright, I think it's time to fight them, if this is what I have to do with it. And that's two of them. Yeah, definitely a difficult enemy to deal with. Can't really catch these. Also because the sweep net is also very difficult to actually use. So here you can get the treasure hunting. I think it's probably just that one location, so I can leave now. Anyways, I am done with this part for now, so if you want to follow the series, consider subscribing and turn off the notifications, and I will see you in the next part. There's going to be an intermission, so thanks for watching.